heard of the documentary Sin by Silence, which we are selling in back. It's a whole documentary about women who are in prison for killing their husbands and sort of trying to have a retrial and over the fact that they were saving themselves by doing this in a way. And then also when I was in college, my sorority's philanthropy was domestic violence and women against abuse. So we did a lot of programming on that. So I always had just those ideas sort of floating around in my head. So when it was time to create this piece, that was where my brain went. I just felt like it was an issue that I wanted to touch upon, and I wanted to get to know who these people would be that would live through this situation. That there's no bad guy or good guy, they're just people.
What caused you to select this topic?
I think the focus of this story is the mother-daughter relationship. And that was like a good focus for me, and I could sort of go in and dig deeper into the family aspect of what happens when this domestic violence takes place and the mother kills the husband, and how does it affect the children?
Where did the idea for the set come from? Because I noticed it was pretty minimalistic.
The silver tone that you see on the whole set is reminiscent of the prison that she found herself in at the present time and even in the future, because this is an issue that affects them throughout their life. It's like a prison mentality never really left. You see that in the flashback at the very opening scene, where she still thinks that she's in prison. And if you notice, they went away at the very last scene when it's fresh start, new beginning for them.
What is, I guess, I know this whole production has been sort of through a thing, just with having a remounting and everything, but what has been for all of you guys the single most beneficial thing walking away from the project?
We work as a family, and I think those relationships just got stronger and stronger, and for me it's really moving to talk about this project and everything that we faced together.
I guess for the actors, what was your favorite part to perform, and maybe the hardest part to perform? And really, as a writer, wanted to ask the writer, what was your favorite part to write?
Hennessy was probably the hardest character for me to write because she's the most like me. So writing something completely opposite for me is more fun and easier.
The drunk scene, I think that scene is so much fun, and there's so many levels, and there's a journey in that scene that is so great.
My most favorite part to perform was the botanica scene where we're all here and the candles are lit and there's a lot going on.
And when she finds out that she's abusing her daughter, I think it's also a hard point because that's not kind of what she wanted. And I think that's what kind of drove her to make this decision that enough was enough and she was going to take action and she wasn't going to die like her mother with all this pain and suffering, that she was going to do something about it and unfortunately kill her husband.
Seeing the play when I was young, 17, 18 years old, I was abused. I was being abused by this man and by my daughter's father, and I'm glad I didn't get to the point where I had to kill him, but I was sleeping with a pillow under my knife. Sleeping with a knife under my pillow. And I remember just saying man, I want to get out of this situation. I want to really leave. And I looked up the yellow pages. I ended up in a shelter system for 2 years. But it was the happiest 2 years of my life.
One more comment. It was real powerful to see the perspective through the kids' eyes and the dynamic between the siblings.
I want to commend you, all of you, for a tremendous, multi-faceted, all the senses were impacted, from the smoke to the visual. And I think that's the way it was told. And I think what I really appreciate is young voices, and Gabby was my baby, actually saying it early enough. How do we prevent this? How does a 6 or 7 or 8-year-old grow up so this isn't their story with children again? So I think that I appreciate so much the youth and the wisdom of the youth.
It's very touching, and it hurts because it starts off at a very young age, and then the kids, they start experiencing that.
Yes, I just want to comment. I want to commend you on the play. It's well written. I think that you covered every aspect of domestic violence and abuse. You touched on every aspect of it, how it affects us women psychologically, emotionally, spiritually and financially. You just showed it so beautifully. I'm just overwhelmed with emotion because, you know, it happens every day. It doesn't stop. Women every day are victimized. Every walk of life, and the community needs to know that. And you showed it so beautifully. I'm touched.